Colorado, what's happening? The Centennial State. Like how I knew that off the top of my head, thanks to my iPhone a couple minutes ago. My name is Charlie Nadler, and the title of my memoir is going to be Men Are From Mars, Women Are Nowhere Near My Penis. Getting laid is elusive. I don't even call it getting lucky anymore. I just call it getting mistaken for somebody else. The last girl I brought home, she wakes up the next morning, all hungover, looks around my studio apartment. Wait a minute, you're not Daniel Radcliffe? You know you have it bad when you overhear other people having sex more than you yourself have sex? And I'll hear it when no one else hears. I'll be walking with my friends, I'll be like, guys, you hear that? Those people are having sex over there. And I'll have to point out, like, how the hell did you hear that? And the thing is, when you go without something for so long, your other senses just get heightened. And I realize I'm like the Helen Keller of celibacy. I can hear a nutsack tapping against an inner thigh from literally 5 miles away. I think I actually hear something in the Coors Field parking lot right now. Reverse cowgirl, nice choice. So a little bit about myself, I smoke a shit ton of weed. This might look like pudge, but this is actually just smoke that's been accumulating for the past 10 years. I really gotta stop smoking so much weed though. It just made me way too stupid. I had my car stolen when I was super high. And at first I was like, wow, this weed is the bomb. I can't even see my car. Then I finally put together, I call 911, and the operator goes, what's your name, sir? And I thought she said, what's your nature? Which means absolutely nothing, but I magically interpreted that as what's your ethnicity? So my friend who's with me, he hears me call him, go, help, my car's been stolen. I'm Caucasian. Like, that's how dumb the weed made me. Like, I thought they were like different 911s. Like, sir, why don't you tell us you're white sooner? We'll patch you through to the real 911 that actually solves crimes. Not this placebo 911 we use for the minority callers. I tend to attract a lot of girls that don't like the fact that I smoke weed, which is a problem, but I recently found a loophole. The other day I signed up for OkCupid. High as shit. So now every girl that's interested in me on the site is interested in the drug-induced version of Charlie Nadler because I filled out the entire profile just surrounded by a huge cloud of smoke. What are you doing with your life currently? Currently, I'm high as shit on my couch. What are some of the first things that people usually notice about you? That I'm high as shit and I have a couch. I can't see you, but let's hang later. Nice. So I've been living in LA for almost 6 years now, which is disgusting to actually say out loud, but it's a tough place to live, but there's actually a lot of interesting things to do there. Last night before flying out here, I went to an Ethiopian restaurant for dinner. You guys ever had that? For those of you who haven't, it's a really interesting dining experience. You sit on the floor and there's no ceiling, and then a UN plane flies over and drops a bunch of rice. And then you all fight to the death over it. And they have live entertainment. Last night they had Angelina Jolie crying in the corner for a few hours. And then for everyone who stuck around, she adopts. So I'm a Jolie now, which has some cool benefits to it. It's cool. LA's a tough place to live too, though. Like, there's just a lot of bad stuff there. Like, it's been 20 years since the LA riots, but the racial profiling is still just as bad as ever. I saw with my own eyes this past Friday night. I got pulled over by the cops, and he comes up to my window and he says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, I'm looking for capital for my startup." I was wondering if you'd take a look at my business plan. We're an accounting firm. We just handled kosher delis. Then he made me get out of my car and he wouldn't let me get back in until Saturday at sundown. I always knew I looked Jewish. I just never knew how Jewish I looked till the other day. I was walking down the street and I passed this Asian woman parking her Prius, and I smiled, she smiled, I kept walking. And then I hear, "Excuse me, do you know AP Calculus?" I turn around, I go, "Pardon? Do you know AP Calculus? I need a tutor for my daughter." It's ridiculous. This woman looks at me for 2 seconds, an Asian woman, and asks me if I can tutor. That's how fucking Jewish I look, that I trump Asian in math. It's good to be back in Colorado. It's actually my second time in Colorado this year. In February, I went to Breckenridge for a little ski trip. Jews really shouldn't ski. Like, we don't navigate the obstacles, we are the obstacles. Like, if it wasn't such a politically correct world, they just use us to vary the difficulty of the slopes. Like, be like, watch out, this next one's a triple black diamond. Triple, I thought the highest it goes is double. Typically, yes, but this is a double black diamond that's also been covered with 500 Jews who have anxiety attacks in cold weather. Look, all I'm saying is if Jews can be moguls in show business, why can't they be moguls on a mountain? Speaking of show business, though, I started a new job this year in January. I'm Rob Reiner's assistant now, which is, it's a great job. He's a cool guy. There's only one bad thing about it, and it's my fault. Like, it's just really hard for me to have conversations with someone who's so much more famous and important than I am. I'd be like, "Hey, Rob, how was your weekend?" "It was great, Charlie. Friday I was on Bill Maher, Saturday I met the First Lady, and Sunday I received another Lifetime Achievement Award." "How was your weekend?" "It was great, Rob. Friday I jerked off a bunch, Saturday was uneventful, and Sunday I reenacted Friday." Denver, thank you very much. Have a hilarious weekend. I'm Charlie Nadler.
Charlie Nadler, everybody, huh?